Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to try to do this, see how it works out here. I'm working on a project, um, the Euro CB version of the Expander 500. The reason I chose this one was due to its condition. Some of the screws are broke off on the back or whatever. I got to fix that. But the main reason I chose this one is because it has the lock. I like to be able to lock when I talk. I get kind of long-winded with the local rag chews, and I wanted that feature. But I also want to be able to key it on a switch, like a foot pedal, or me personally, I like to use these. And I can just key it right up. And so that's what we're working on. And I wanted to make a video before I got too far into it here and show you all what I got going on. So on the back side here, I had to desolder these two in order to take the board off. And those are for the test button. No big deal. We put those back on. All right. So in order to manually key this, I'm going to leave the battery on it. But in order to manually key this, these two pins right here marked with marker, that's your key. So I put one wire on each of those. It's going to go through here, probably through right here. It's going to come out the top here. I'm going to find a plate for this because I took the neck off of it, right? I'm going to leave the neck off. I'm going to get a plate for that. Send the wire out through there, okay, off the keyer so I can use this switch and manually key it, okay? Now, the reason I took that neck off of there is because of what comes next. Let me pause for a minute and move over to the other part of the project. All right, so this is the other part of the project. I'm going to put a plug on the end here and extend that out with some coax I got laying around. Because it's shielded and, RF, et cetera, et cetera. But I got this sucker mounted up on a boom. So now I have myself an Expander 500 studio mic. Okay. Now, let me pause again, go back the other way and finish telling you why I did this. All right. So the reason I did this is because I was horsing around the other day and one of my locals says, man, that microphone sounds really good. And I'm like, come on, really? I was kind of shocked because I've always liked the Plus 3s and the Super Sidekicks. My Lincoln 2 Plus and the 148 have always seemed to really like the Plus 3. The Galaxy 88 always seemed to like the Super Sidekick. So I'm like, okay. I just happened to plug it in. We were talking because he's got one also, one of these expanders, and he sounded really good. I said, for poops and grins here, I'm just going to hook it up and see how it sounds. He's like, man, it sounds fantastic. He says, I've never heard you sound so good. And I've heard myself in many gates, and I sound pretty good, I felt like, right? But this microphone here, well, the other one, the Turner version of it, was the one I was using. And I don't want to mess with the Turner ones. I want to keep them pure, right? Figure this one here, whatever. Anyway, so I started horsing around further, and I switched that microphone to all three radios. Lincoln 2 Plus, Galaxy 88, Cobra 148 GTL. The microphone performs fabulous on all three radios. So now I don't have to have a different microphone for each one. I've got adapters for them all. It is wired for 4-pin Cobra Galaxy. Okay. So I got the 5-pin adapter for the Cobra and the 6-pin adapter for the Lincoln. And the plan is to just set this up in the back of the bench, adjust it where I need to, and then I can just sit back in the lounge chair and talk. Or if I really want to get down, I can just freaking simply key here, or I hit the lock. Lock is a little tight. I tried to loosen it up, but there ain't much happening with that. So I've got the best of all worlds. I can key it like I normally would, use a studio mic. I can lock it, or I can key it and, dang near walk around the room. So it's a neat little project. I got a little bit to do here yet. Obviously, I got to solder that back on. I got to run the wires from here out and put a plug on, because these Heil microphones or Keers, they come with the 1/4-inch deal. I've got the 1/8-inch adapter. So I'm just going to get a female 1/8-inch adapter here, run the wires. So I'm going to solder to there, bring it out, 3-4 feet, whatever I need. Put a female end on the other side so I can plug this in and out, and everything is plug and play. Same thing with the element itself. The element was, I'm glad I took a picture. The element was soldered on right here, right there, and right there. I should probably use a pointer for that if this thing will stay standing for me here. I got a screwdriver here. So that one right there and that one right there is where the element solders to. So I'm going to solder a piece of coax, the cheap little RG8 or whatever it is, RG58 rather. I'm going to solder coax from there. I'm going to send it out through the top here, okay? Because I still plan to use the bottom plate and the battery, all that stuff, right? So I'm going to send the key wire out through the top. I'm going to send the coax out through the top, and then have a plate on there eventually. And that piece of coax is going to go from there over to the wire I showed you on the element with a plug on that side. So I think it's a pretty neat little project. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know that I would want to do this with an actual Turner Expander 500. However, if it was in kind of disrepair, I wouldn't mind so much. But this one here also, by the way, has all the knobs to it. So I'm really excited about this. Since it was the Euro version and had the lock, I can't say no to this project. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Any questions, give me a holler. You all know who it is. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. You probably don't. I'm just a duck. Tin Man up here in the Dairyland, man. We said it and we're out. Poof.